Welcome everyone to the Sprawl Subversion episode 3.1. Funtime in Space is currently the operating title for this operation, unless I can come up with some more goofy name for the process. It's been about a month because of work concerns and a certain holiday that falls on Wednesdays that nobody can play on because we all have significant others of some variety, or, all that good stuff that's been going on. So, welcome back, everybody. I've been playing Minecraft in the interim for the most part. Been a busy month for the most part. I did go see Eddiezer, which was amazing. If you've never heard of that comedian, look him up.
Get your head out of a box.
Arguably one of my favorite. But yeah, it's good to be back, and howfully we get to go to space today. Let's start from the top. Will, how's it been? How's things going? And what are you looking forward to today?
Sure. It's been good. A long time. I don't even remember what I do. I think I'm the group's pacifist. Is that right?
No, you're the group's
warrior or something.
I think you mean you're the group's masochist.
Well, it's hard to tell. The font is so tiny. You can barely read what we do.
Yeah.
But looking forward to hopefully doing my namesake and killing a few people.
I will also point out that there are some images of the thing that's causing.
Oh yeah, huh? I knew it was something.
I'm also going to do this if that pops up and support my favorite streamer.
Woo! Second subscriber.
Hey, I was first.
Nice.
No, Feg was first.
But
He subbed the day I got affiliate. Literally,
Nice.
like 15 minutes after I got affiliate.
so you should have. So it's here now. It'd be number one.
Killer.
So you didn't get a pop up when I subscribed.
I didn't, surprisingly enough. I gotta actually look at my list here. Let's see. First off, let's get Killer going here. Oh, that's in the wrong place. Nope, put it above the players. There we go. Excuse me while we do some edits on the fly here.
The do it live types.
Oh yeah. Max, while I'm doing edits to the stream, how's things been this past month? What's going on, and what are you probably not looking forward to involving space today?
Well, let's see. Wait, what was the first question?
How's things been going this past month?
Not too bad. Went and saw Black Panther. I'm wearing the Panther King. Yes, saw it twice. Loved it. Had to giggle when my siblings, we have a text message group, and my sister's like, "Well, I don't see color, but I don't understand." I'm like, you know what, sis? Anything after I don't see color is invalid because now you see color. Because so it's just like I'm kind of, it's like I didn't even notice until someone pointed out that there was only 2 white guys in the movie, both of them from Lord of the Rings. So apparently they were the Tolkien white guys.
Nice.
Yep. Such
joke.
a terrible joke.
But yet so funny.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that much.
But that's it. I've been playing some Charterstone. I'm up to game 10 out of our. We're fixed to do. We just finished game 9 out of 12.
Nice.
If you got anybody who's into board games, Charterstone is a phenomenal legacy worker placement game. That is so much fun.
It is definitely on my list because it's at the right level for my regular player. As I showed you guys earlier, but I can show the stream if I can find where the F I put it, which, unsurprisingly, being the mess of the room that my room is, I can't. Oh, there it is. I recently picked up hardback from Fowers Games. They make a bunch of games that I love, most notably Burgle Brothers, but this one's a deck building drafting game that's all about making words, and when you make the words, you make some money, and kind of Dominion meets Scrabble, I guess, is the best way I can put it. So
sounds fun. The other one I recently picked up was Stuffed Fables, which apparently is designed to be played with kids, but apparently it's turning into a very, very popular couples game.
I had another friend recommend that to me, and it is high on my list as well.
Some of the guys who did Mice and Mystics. If you've ever played Mice and Mystic and liked it, it's that with a little more streamlined mechanics, I guess.
Nice.
So, but other than that, I'm glad to be back. So we're out. Hey Shane, you dozed off there?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Well,
I'm up.
Moving on to Shane.
You're up.
How's things going with you?
Doing good. I'm fine. I think Trips had probably an eventful, however much downtime trying to take care of a cat. Which, any of you have some good toys for a large cat, let me know.
Yeah, I'm wondering how quickly it's going to be for you to recover from all of the cat scratches you're likely covered in.
Yeah.
Have lots of antiseptic.
Too much.
Just
Lots
bandages and antiseptic.
Lots of like spray skin, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Is that New Kitten or what? I missed that. Sorry.
The Car Panther.
Oh, the character's covered in scratches. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we're referring to him as the Mummy at this point, because different parts of him will be wrapped at any given time.
And still missing an ear and...
Oh, yeah, that's true. I just imagine that all of my nice ties are now shredded.
So you don't wear ties anymore.
Yeah, I'm imagining you've given up on the chic look, and you wear the more like the shredded look at this point, just like everything's got slashes in it, and you're just like...
Well, Trip is now a new bar owner, so he's got to cultivate that look.
Yeah. And that probably pays off well, all things considered.
Yeah.
Going back to that, before I finish off with our Impulse Trader, if you remember the card I have for the Alpha X Island, it's this like hollowed out cylinder surrounded by island. I see your bar as being kind of in the middle of the big deep cylinder. So you still hear the sonic booms as the rockets go up and come back down. You don't have like the rich person's dome that's on the surface that silences all that out. But so it kind of your bar shakes like you live next to a railroad, basically.
Perfect.
All right, let's finish off with Replica. We're going to have a shorter stream tonight since I know, Trip, you've got 2 hours left. Cool.
Yeah.
Replica, how's things been this past month? What's going on, and what are you looking forward to today?
Things have been going pretty good. Got some local cons coming up in the next month, next few days and month. So some exciting stuff there.
Nice.
And Replica is looking forward to seeing looking forward to proving the flat Earth theory by direct observation.
And ready to play severe mental gymnastics to make sure to stay in that camp.
Yeah.
Now, I think Replica has been spending their time delivering space propaganda to the bar in various disguises.
Oh man, this is gonna be the craziest group of. Oh man, you guys are gonna do crazy things in space. I am already frightened.
Yeah, you know those air blowy things that car dealerships have?
Mm-hmm.
So Replica had one of those of a space rocket delivered to the bar.
Oh my god!
I think I think Trip thinks that you are helping him disguise the bar, and doesn't realize.
Speaking of which, did we have a final name for this?
Specific impulse.
Civic Impulse. Awesome.
And see, I think I'll help Trip disguise his bar by having like a pro planet, off planet, group meet once a week in the bar, kind of like a book club, but we talk about the different the different like Mars missions and other things that are going on, just how people can get into them and stuff. And so like once a week there's a group there. Now of course they're all buying drinks and stuff, so it's good for the bar, but when the rocket ship showed up with the air blower, I just like, hey, I can take advantage of this. And
I mean, we're on Alpha X Island. We gotta blend in.
Mm-hmm. So, tell me the central focus of your bar, like the focus of the decor in your bar. Like, what is the centerpiece that draws everyone in?
The bar itself is definitely like most of a circle, and it's themed like a saucer, like a space saucer.
I'm gonna go so far as to say is like it's a replica of like the original like not Moonlander, but the what's the first orbiter that's round on the bottom
Capsule.
Yeah, the first capsule. Gotcha. Apollo 1. So, the top and stuff looks like Apollo 1. It just doesn't have the centerpiece. That's where the bartender sits.
Oh man.
Like it.
Love it. Excellent.
Apollo 1 could fit into your anti-space angle too, because, loss of human life in space travel. So there you go.
There is a plaque to Apollo 11 behind the bar. Challenger, Discovery, whatever.
It took you probably a couple weeks to get everything squared away. One of the relics of the previous owner is there is one kind of shelf along one wall that has little emitters built into it that has like holo cameras of each of the launch pads on the surface of the island. So anytime a rocket goes up or comes back down, you get a little visual of the rocket coming down or the rocket launching. So it happens with regularity. You can almost go every 15 minutes. It just cycles along the shelf, and then about 5 minutes later, it cycles again when the rockets come back down.
We don't actually need a clock or anything else displaying the time.
Yeah,
we just have that.
Yeah, that's basically the clock. So
we hung little plaques with the hour, half hour, quarter hour underneath the rockets, so that you just when the rocket goes off, that's what that lights up and says it's half past the hour.
Your resident killer made good friends with one of the Alpha X cargo specialists, who regularly plans several. Well, he's kind of scratched his name into the third slot on that clock. That's his rocket pad that he normally works on. But both you and Trip and Blank both know that he's a little bit finicky about this whole mission, and he's seen certain things that Alpha X does that he thinks are questionable. So he's become less enamored with his employer, as it were. He still maintains the cover because it's always helpful to be on the inside. And hello, Codex. How's it going? My 3 awesome subs here. Y'all gotta help me come up with emoji or emotes, by the way. So he rolls in, sits down at the bar, looks at Trip and goes, "Hey, I need some help. I've got some stuff going up in about..."
Before he finishes the help, I just slide him with something to drink because I assume that's what he means by help.
He kind of looks at the drink, realizes he's been coming here long enough that you already know what he drinks, downs it, and then goes, excellent. That helps a little bit, but not quite what I was looking for. He slides a little, his own little personal emitter and flicks it on, and you see a brief flash of the C² logo spin, and then the station that's in geostationary orbit above basically this area forms in. Our resident C² expert, Replica, can you tell me what that space station looked like?
Before I do that, has the Alpha X space station been defined at all?
A little bit. I kind of have a picture going, but I haven't really defined it much more than it's a kind of their jumping off point more than anything else, or at least the nearest space station.
All right. So the C², the C² space station is your standard like large node passageway to another large node type thing, except that they are playing up the Mesoamerican heritage. So it's not spheres, it's cubes that have ziggurats on top of them. So it's basically tiered out.
That's what I got for the Alpha X station. For the operative chat.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So this has like what is that base a sphere, or sorry, a cube, and then on each face of it is a set of, or a ziggurat going out to the things, and then going from the top of the ziggurats to the other locations are the like internode transit corridors.
Okay, so the outer cubes, as it were, are, I assume they're on a rotation so that they have gravity at least, and probably the center ziggurat does not, or at least maybe the outer edge of the center ziggurat does, but
yes.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, the Alpha X station, that spire is all 0G, but that ring is not. And then it's designed that most of the rockets will dock on the spire, and then anyone living on the station will live in the ring.
All right.
And I have a cat that's crying to me. So that station forms in the little hollow screen, and he goes, I have a problem on this station. We'll say friend of mine, kind of an ex-Alpha X employee, had to escape because, well, let's say management wasn't very happy with the information he had with him. He presses another button, you see a kind of punk girl on the younger side, probably early 20s at most, pink hair, that whole shaved on one side and then long on the other look. Her head spins in that sort of, this is her badge picture style. And he goes, this is Zeta. She pulled some files out of the mainframe on the Alpha X station 01 about, what was it she was talking about? Hammer of God, I think it was called. Something like that. Anyway, had Hammer in the title. I'm not quite sure. Regardless, she's a friend of mine. She's stuck on the C² station because the only way in or up or down right now is us. I need you guys to smuggler route.
We
From
can
what I
probably do
hear,
that.
you're a pretty good team. Though, did I hear something about explosions downtown or in some green zone? Regardless,
Completely unrelated.
I heard you're good operators. Blank's been a good pal for me. Hooked me up here. Told me what you do. I can get you up there, but that's the best I can do. After that, you're on your own.
You have no exit strategy for us once we're up there.
You have a couple of options for exits. I know C Squared maintains a last ditch exit pod, as well as I can probably keep the cargo pod that I will likely be sending you guys up in there, but it could only stay for about 6 hours before it starts looking suspicious and has to go back down.
Okay.
If there's other options up there, you're more than welcome to look into them. Those are the only two I know of off the top of my head.
Any sort of restrictions on this mission? Or just accomplish the main goal?
Just getting Zeta out is the only thing as far as I'm concerned. Whatever else you do is on you.
How many people have on this mission?
Do you wanna pass it on to the other guys before you send him on his way?
I'll like. Do we have a bat symbol yet? To assemble.
Well, considering I've been drinking your beer here in the bar for free and you don't know it, I'm probably here. It's under the guise of serving other people, mind you. I'm just,
Right, of course.
Well,
pour 3, serve 2, drink 1.
Feel free, the other 3 of you in this party, tell me where you are when Trip nudges you.
I'm 100% at the bar. I basically live there. I have a designated seat at the bar that I get very grumpy if anybody sits in.
Because all it has is a surgical grade tube that runs from under the bar where a massive 5-gallon drum of turpentine is sitting there.
That's right. I've also taken to brewing my own craft turpentine.
The good news is we put his seat in the corner, kind of in one side of the bar, where there's a pillar that kind of blocks most of people's view of him. He can see around it, but it's not detracting. We're not scaring customers off with this.
Although
blank stared robot sitting at the end of the bar.
His craft turpentine, you can also tell, is starting to slowly erode at the paint on that pillar. It's turning weird colors and peeling in certain odd ways that you're like, wait, paint's not supposed to do that.
Yes, it's like It's like a smoker's haze where he's been exhaling on the pole. It just is tinting it.
Why is it purple and glowing on the edges and some of it's floating in midair? What is going on there?
The really weird thing is that pillar is just an AR pillar.
Yeah, it's projected there to hide the 5-gallon drum of turpentine.
And the being connected to the other end of it.
Yeah.
Trip also, whenever Blank is out of the bar for some reason, 100% tries to get people to sit there just to see Blank's reaction when he comes around the AR pillar and sees someone sitting in his seat.
Oh, man.
Except that his reaction is the same every time. He gives them a blank stare. It's really boring.
Yeah, but Trip laughs his ass off every time.
Every time.
To the point where it's too much. It shouldn't be that funny.
Oh, all right. Well, Max is also at the bar. Blank's at the bar. Replica, where are you at?
I'm nearby. I spend a lot of my time working on various aliases. things for my fast talk stuff. So I have just gotten off some bit of reinforcement for some cover identity or another, and am headed. I'm like 5 minutes from the bar in a automated car. So
Nice.
Will, for the record, we can actually see the reflection of your wife and
I
baby
know.
waving back. It's adorable.
It can't be
just
seen
wanted
on
you
the
to-
stream, so.
Yeah, because it's really tight on the stream, but we can see it in our view. It's very
Yeah.
adorable. So I figure in the like parking lot or the parking area for the bar, I have Janice and I have like set up a van that just is always parked there. It's a kind of our local hub right now. It's like in a handicap spot with a handicap placard. It just never leaves.
So there isn't much of road infrastructure on the island itself. It's designed almost like a vertical city. What it does have, though, is platforms in the center cylinder for VTOL craft, and then you're likely set up in this like transport pod that your vehicle is just sitting in, basically, that
Right.
will immediately shift it back up to the surface and let you out at a exit point, for lack of a better
Right.
term.
Yeah.
You are off center. Let's fix this.
Sorry, I can shift.
It's all good. So Trip, are you waving them over?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit our little like comm button. I'm sure that we have like a little like call all button on our comms now. We hang out a lot. Usually it's when there's something like crazy happening at the bar, like there's a bar fight or something, but we're gonna use it for like a real reason this time.
Hashtag it's time for a job reason.
Yeah.
All right. Where is my favorite one?
I've got at the end. All of us suddenly hear.
Ah,
I'm changing that tone on my communicator.
well then, who is gonna roll get the job?
What's that based on?
Edge.
It's probably
Not it.
two.
Not it. Not at a -1.
I've got two.
Before you roll, bid.
Oh yeah, we got a bid.
3.
I'll bid 3.
Like 3, max 3. Trip and replica.
2.
2.
Ah, not going for the full one this time. I will move the legwork up 1 and the action up 1. All right, roll Edge.
Oh, can I reset my harm clock
Yes,
from between missions? Okay, I wasn't.
you have been laid up for a little while. Mostly, Trip's been mixing some, antiseptic into the turpentine, just so it actually does you some good while you're drinking
It's
yourself
medicinal.
into a stupor. Yeah.
You know.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Do we get a forward because we know him? He's at the bar and we give him free drinks.
No. You don't need it anyways.
No.
With
It's gonna be one of
11,
those nights. It's a good night.
you get to choose 3 from the list.
I kind of figured whenever Blank Stare kind of passes out from Twist Turpentine, we whip like a soldering iron out front of the bar and just have been like trying to slowly repair the damage that's been sparking and stuff. So just, in his mind, it's like growing back, even though it's not organic. It just looks like it because he wakes up and it's healed a little more. He's like, oh, that stopped sparking.
Yeah.
Oh, that hole closed. Oh, hey, look, it's got a plate on it now.
Can we do a quick rundown of the options?
All right, your options are: the employer provides useful information, intel. The employer provides useful assets, gear. The job pays well. The meeting doesn't attract attention. The employer is identifiable.
So the job pays well. We've been working real good with that one. I think it better not attract attention because we're terrible at that.
Yeah, we don't need to take a handicap as well.
Yeah.
You don't need to
and then
start on the back foot.
Do we want intel or do we want cool gear?
I feel like, ooh, I don't know.
I feel like Intel's going to be most useful in this particular case.
But he could sneak something on the cargo pod for us for that gear, which would be cool.
Yeah. I was thinking something for the gear because that way when things go amiss, we'll have something to fall back on.
And he did say when, which is an accurate statement.
This is true.
Hey, Jimmy, can you bend your mic down just a little? We're hearing it breathing. There you go. Perfect. It's just in that plane.
Yeah. When I run at home, I've got a different microphone for it, but
Yeah. No, and any you move it off that plane, it doesn't do it. It's only when it's like right in the line. It's just the way it's just the way air moves.
got it.
All good.
I'm fine
All right.
with gear. I'm fine with gear. If that's that's a consensus, I'm good with it. I got no problems with either one.
Okay.
And there's a rocket launcher in the cargo pod.
Hey, in our con game, gear helped me out a lot. So
This is true. This is absolutely true. If you hadn't had like 3 extra gear, you would have been paced.
that's what rolling really good is for. Awesome. So
Cool.
he gives you details. He thumbs through his display a little bit until he finds a launch time and date, which you see is about a week from now. And he points at his favorite little notch on the shelf and says, you'll be on that rocket on that day. You've got 7 days to prep. I know it's not a lot, but that's the best cargo run I can get you on that has the least amount of things on it at the moment that won't notice a little bit more added onto the weight row. So I leave you to it, guys. And if you play it right, I hear they've got some cool stuff on that station. I heard something about Genetics is doing some work up there with them. I don't know.
There may be another Car Panther.
I don't know anything about a Car Panther.
Oh,
But
God.
I know they have a data center up there. I haven't heard too much else.
Trip looks
C-squared
at you and he's
tends to
like,
be
"That's
rather-
right. You don't know anything about a Car Panther." Kind of winks.
He kind of looks at you weird, sees all the scratches all over your face, shrugs.
Your bandage on your forearm is leaking a little bit. You need to change that.
Try my medicinal turpentine. It's apparently heals metal.
Thank you, Blank. As soon as my arm becomes metal, I will try that.
Your loss.
He kind of taps the little display off, shoves it back in his pocket real quick, and goes, "I gotta go. They're gonna notice me gone if I stay too much longer."
Was this in the middle of the afternoon?
I
Did he
would
sneak off like in the middle of work?
Yes.
It's like 2 p.m.
Yep.
and we're
he's-
all in the bar.
That doesn't surprise me.
We're always in the bar.
You guys just spend most of your credits at your own bar. That's why your bar is not profitable at the moment, because you're sinking your own credits back into your own bar. Or
We're stimulating the local economy.
yeah.
That's right. Whenever I don't have money for a drink, I just go crack the register. And just take it out and then put it back in.
Yeah, I can see you lean over the bar, just press a button and it opens. You go, nope. This is what I need. Close it walk over to Trip and goes, "Another!"
And then I pause, and then I go back and I hit it again. And I pull out another $1 and I shove it in the tip jar.
So he practically bolts out the door because he realized that he's been there a little bit longer than he should have been, and they track his badge, so they don't want him. He'll make up a story about it being his lunch break, basically, and then disappear back in his office. So
Sorry about that.
you all receive a little packet with, for lack of a better term, a countdown timer for the rocket launch that you're scheduled on. You get a detail that there is a cargo pod on it that you need to be inside and strapped in by 1 hour before that launch, or you will miss the window of that cargo pod being loaded into the rocket and launched, basically. And the cargo pod, and you get a little design come out, and it's basically a shipping container with chairs welded in it that have seatbelts on it.
Just for my personal reference, well, by the way, I have not been spending my credits at the bar. I've been actually working for my alcohol. Why are we leaving the planet?
We gotta.
I'll let you guys explain it.
I have
Yeah,
to
we
kill
gotta-
somebody in space.
That's a bucket list for Blank Stare. But there's a person in need up there, and we're gonna get them and bring them back.
No, I really have to kill somebody. Yes, it is a bucket list, but I also have an obligation with which I need to be.
There's a Shinvex employee you wish to make sure stops existing.
So we're going to get somebody, but while we're there, hey, what the hell? We'll kill somebody?
And
Also-
then some, probably.
Yes. Also, we need to hook up your doctor friend that you pointed us to. Some of her, there's some compromising data on her.
Oh, Dr. Sparrow?
At
And-
a genetic fix somewhere. So we need to, see if we can nuke that.
I will note that none of you are hacker specialists at all. You might want to hire someone for that.
I don't think I ever leveled up. Now that I think about it.
Well,
I'll just take a magnet to it.
if we want to bring in a hacker, I know you guys have heard me say this before, but I know somebody.
You're welcome to call someone up. They might
Actually,
be
I
able to-
already do know somebody named, we already established named Siren, who's a hacker.
that's right.
And I'm sure for a, small nominal chunk of whatever we loot, because didn't I hear there was supposed to be some cool gear up there?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we could talk Siren into. I'm sorry. Corner of my eye, my cat was doing something weird. I'm sure for a nominal percentage of maybe an equal share of loot, we could talk her into coming along.
Heck, it being a Genetics data center, she might just do it for the pay data.
It's true.
This is very true.
How is she on bending the rules?
Wait, her rules or other people's?
Just rules in general of
The
society.
only rules I know she follows are her own.
Good enough.
So I forget, did we actually do your move to declare her yet, or did you just make her up and in waiting?
Let me.
Because
we
I
need
don't
to check
remember
the.
I don't remember. I don't see it in my
Don't
notes. for that.
remember. I know we made her up and we put her on the Trello.
Oh, you did. You did. Yeah, you did. I see the.
Yeah.
I see the roll, and you
I-
rolled very well.
Yeah. I was gonna say I thought I put everything in. We put everything in there at the time just because we knew, and then we ended up not using her right away. So.
Yep. You're more than welcome to hit the streets to reach out to her and see what she says.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hit the streets is what style. Yep.
Yep.
Any kind of forward or anything since I already know her.
I will give you a +1 because you had such a spectacular roll that time around.
Okay. Well,
Not that you need it.
nope. Apparently, she and I are really, of like minds.
So at 10+, you're welcome to choose either an intel or a gear.
What do you think, guys? You want to intel this time?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
I think intel. Yeah.
So tell me how you reached out to Siren.
Uh,
Or rather, probably how she reached out to you as soon as you started dialing half of her number.
yeah. So yeah, I imagine that as I started dialing her number, I get a text with a picture of the space station. And then I'm like, question mark, and then she's like, picture of the pod that we need to catch.
God, is this another emoji girl?
Huh?
So is this another emote message girl?
No, it's just like I'm like, yes, fine. Just like, yes, fine.
So
fee,
she actually talks to you and mentions, she sends you a different picture, and this is just a little box. It's kind of hexagonal in shape with some claws at the end of it, and a little 3D diagram shows up that shows one of the antenna wires coming out of the main ziggurat spire, and that box attaching onto that, and then a little diagram that shows little dots coming out of that space station back down to Earth, and a cute little emoji room of her typing from Earth, hacking into the space station. She has zero desire to actually go up with you, but she will send this box with you to be set up on one of their comms spires. Doesn't have to be on the inside, or it doesn't have to be on the outside, even though the little animation shows it. She gives a couple of options. It either has to be attached on the outside to this one connection, or attached on the inside behind this, like, several walls worth of security to their main comms room. She's like, hey, that works.
Look at the guys who go. How critical is it she comes with us if she can remote in?
Probably not, if she can remote in.
Okay. Well, we
It's
just
safe
need
for
to.
not coming with us.
Yeah. Can I remote in as well?
No, you're critical, buddy.
So she's gonna send over she's gonna send us a little box that we need to attach to an antenna. Who can hold the breath the longest? Okay, maybe we'll find a spacesuit. That's a tomorrow problem. Let's worry about today.
So wait, I'm trying to find, where is how much it costs to hire a hacker. I know it's not going to be cheap. If I remember correctly, it's 4. But
I'm happy to go with 4 if you want to call it 4.
there we go. Spending 4 cred will get you a hacker with a sense of professional integrity.
Do I get at least a 1 discount since she's a contact?
that's even for contacts. That's just how Hit the Streets works.
We can all chip in.
Okay, so if we all chip in
Chip.
one,
Triple chip in one.
everybody else good with one?
Blank goes to the bar and opens the cash register.
For once, you have a contact that doesn't need you to do something.
Yeah.
Other than put a box on the station.
That by itself is probably worth the cred.
So so who wants to hop outside and put this on the outside of the spaceship when we get there? 1, 2, 3. It.
I'll do it.
It's easy. It comes with a diagram. You just got to attach it to the antenna.
I'll
So-
do it.
You guys, in the container you're going up in, comes with pressure suits. They're not really designed for EVAs, so you're going to have to maybe outsource finding some EVA equipment, or you have a gear if you want to use that.
Well, we'll spend that when we come to it.
Yeah.
If we need to.
Just
The
hold your
thing,
breath.
for something else.
All right. So you have your way in. She kind of surreptitiously, you get a message from her that she surreptitiously reached out to your doctor friend and was like, and worked out the exact details of what data she needs to wipe from the system, and made the promise also that provided she can get the access, she will set up a worm that anytime that data is accessed for replication across the network, it will make sure to replicate the negative space rather than the file back onto the server, because that server in the orbit is just a backup server, not a primary server.
So we killed 2 problems with 1 trip, and hey, maybe we can get Blankstare's arm fixed.
That's also a possibility. You
I'm
still
fine
have
ripping
to
this turpentine.
you still have to look into where maybe his favorite Shinvex operative by the name of Cypher Northbridge might actually be on the station, because it is still a big station. And y'all will look
that
a
the guy
little out of place.
Is that the one he's trying to kill?
Yes.
How many people live on this station? Is that common knowledge? Like, is that something I can go Google?
There are only estimates. The estimates show anywhere between 250 and 400, depending on time of year, specific projects that are going on up there, how much garbage they needed to transport up, regardless, somewhere in that range.
Do they do space tourism? Or is that not this one?
They have a tiny, space tourism hub, just so you can show up, C-squared executives show off to fancy people, that sort of thing. If you're rich enough, you can get up there and, have a nice view of Earth. Most people stick to the Alpha X station more than this one, because this one's a little bit more utilitarian. It has a lot more labs. It has a lot more systems operations going on up there. It's the hub of their planned asteroid mining setup. One of the cubes is actually being torn down to be repurposed as a asteroid catch, and then they'll start mining off of that once they get it one caught and in place.
And nothing could possibly go wrong and drop that asteroid onto Earth.
It's in a stable orbit at the moment. I don't know what, certain people with car panthers might be planning, but it's in a stable orbit at the moment. So, that took you probably...
Who's feeding your panther while we're gone?
Don't we have a bar boy? I assume we have some sort of...
Far back?
Yeah.
And I gotta help my wife open a bottle of wine.
Sure. So you get set up in a couple of hours. A parcel gets delivered to the delivery side of the bar. That's just a secure box that when you open it, it's literally the device in the little diagram. With another set of glowing instructions going, attach this side with an arrow, even though it's pretty obvious with the claws, but she never knows. She's used to people not understanding the instructions, so she adds like 6 layers of instructions just to make sure someone will see it. So you're getting towards the end of the first day. What else is people doing?
Drinking? Does that count?
What type of critical operations are on this?
You're welcome to try and research it, or go. How would you like to figure it out?
I probably can't just assess it, can I? It's
It's
gonna be
It would
go
be
stare
a
at the sky for a while.
bit of a stretch without like sneaking into a C² facility and finding out what they've got.
Real bad.
You're welcome to research, or maybe hit the street, see if you can get information.
I'll take a shot at research, see what I can figure out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you doing the research? Are you like just going to the Wikipedia page of the C² orbital station?
Yeah, I'm not trying to find out anything top secret. I just want to know like some critical operations that maybe could be disrupted while we're up there.
So you see a bunch of news articles about their impending plans for the asteroid catch. Lots of people, worried about, what happens if it fails, whatever. And they give a nice token spiel of, we have plans in the way that if there's any sort of critical failure, there will be rockets built into the asteroid that will take it away from Earth, blah, 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 stable orbit. They give a whole, newsy spiel. You see several articles about a C² genetics operation or collaboration. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Of new military technology. No details were given, but they're expecting good things to come out in the next several months. That kind of from details probably Max has shared with you guys about your favorite person who shot at you last session. Or one of 4 that shot at you, technically speaking.
I still want to dig into that, but apparently I got to go to space first.
Yeah. There are several smaller labs set up, different science experiments. C²'s testing new designs, plans for a Mars station, plans for a Mercury station, but they don't have launch windows as of yet. It sounds like they are still under construction. And are probably under construction up at that station because it's easier to build it up in space and launch it from there than launch it up into space. So they're just launching the general materials up in space so they can build something big and then send it off. Most recent pictures of the station actually shows, one of the cubes is being disassembled. The other one has a extension off of it that looks kind of like a smaller version of the central core. With several rockets lining the outside of it, designed for launch. They said their estimates are probably 6 months. And that is likely to be the Mercury station.
And these are, everyone at the C² station is like an employee, or for the most part.
For the most part, as I said, they get a little bit of space tourism, but that would be in the teens. They get it will either be employees of C Squared itself or Genetics or any other collaborations they might be working on. Alpha X has a very small office on there designed mostly for their monitoring of their systems, since they send rockets up as well, since C Squared doesn't quite have the lower level infrastructure to get it up into space, which they're still working on, but not quite to the massive volume that Alpha X has it going.
Cool. All those people seem like they're implicated in this already, so that's fine.
I will say Blank is of the type that likes to only hit the target and no collateral damage.
Well, y'all will be arguing. It's fine. That'll make
Wait,
it more
what?
interesting.
Wait,
Blank is more the killer that likes to kill the target and not have as much collateral damage.
Have we been on the same missions? Because that's not what I've seen.
They were in my way. There's a difference.
So let's revise the statement. Blank is more the type that likes to kill the target and no collateral damage unless they're in your way.
Correct. Like
Fair
Batman.
enough. I'll go with that one. Fine, I'll go
You
with
can
that
find a way to get 400 people to be in your way.
If you
Well,
can,
if
then
it's between him and the exit ship, then yeah, probably.
Cool. So day one done.
I'll go with that one.
You have your hacker contact on the ready.
Did she deliver the box?
Yeah, the box has been delivered to the bar. It's probably sitting on the bar because knowing Trip, he's like, oh, I'm going to be super obvious about it and just be like, kunk.
Well,
It's probably, I would say,
it's
8
probably
inches across, 15 inches tall.
She probably delivered it in an Amazon box or something. I'm sure it's
came by drone.
Yeah.
Do we have a way to get into the cargo box? Did our contact clear that out, or like?
Yes, you have basically a 4-hour window to be at the station or at the launch area. You have some credentials that will get you to the storage facility where that crate is, and you will have access to that crate alone, basically.
Okay.
All right. So I would like to do a bit of setup to help us with this.
Yep.
So what I want to do is basically get into a C squared facility down here and add to the roster of employees up there basically something approaching the 4 of us, or find 4 employees that roughly meet our descriptions and clone their credentials.
All right. Do you want to do it as a conduct an operation, or do you want to do more of assess? Might be a bit of a stretch. You'd have to break into that facility, and that's a little bit more. I'm willing to run a conduct an operation if you want to try it.
I'm willing to do that. Like that. If it is too complicated a thing for what we're doing, then I don't mind not doing it. But
it's pretty simple and straightforward. You'll roll edge on a 10+. Everything will go according to plan. You'll be in perfect position to carry out the final element of the plan. I'll describe the scene. You'll have the opportunity to attack or act. On a 7 to 9, you get the opportunity to act, but it won't go as smoothly as you plan. Choose one. A preliminary task will not complete it on time or accurately. There's an unexpected complication. On a 6-, I'll describe the scene and make a move that puts you both on the back foot, or that puts you on the back foot. Both problems in the 7 to 9 apply as well.
All right. Then yeah, I'd like to do that. I would like to to take advantage of my disguise kit to resemble someone who's there normally at that facility,
Cool.
and basically gives me a +1 forward on that.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Roll edge. We'll see how it goes. I've been wanting to try conduct an operation, so this works beautifully.
Right. So edge, forward 1, and roll.
9, 10, 11. Nice.
Oh, nice.
So, you spend your time, you monitor that facility for probably a couple of hours in the course of, I could see it as during that same first day that Max is hiring up Siren, you go to the C² facility. You find a ripe employee walking out at just the right time. You get enough of a scan to look passably as them and happen to sneak their badge off of them. You get inside, you get through all the main barriers, and then you are up past most of the security teams, and you get deep into the facility. You've thankfully managed to skip most of the surveillance. You are now at, I would say, for lack of a better term, the HR systems. I know, unless you've taken hacker stuff, which I doubt, tell me how you are going to work your magic to get people into the system. Fast talk, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. So I will go in there and like lock myself out of the account,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically get someone, a coworker there. It's like, this, my stuff's locked up, can't get into it. I need you to enter this stuff for me, and pass it off on someone who looks like they are a pretty new hire, so that they kind of not fully indoctrinated to the corporate culture and are worried about career or that sort of thing.
Sweet. Roll style.
All right. Style. I'm still impersonating, so I've got that.
Oh, just barely.
All right.
So he kind of gives you a weird look as you explain what you're trying to do. Does the data dump, takes your data stick you have with the information, inputs it in. You see the pictures of the four of you loading in as normal employees, but the main HR system flags all four as it's the word I'm looking for, odd, for lack of a better term, and give C² a bit of a blip here. So I am gonna up that.
So these pictures are not intended to be perfectly accurate of us.
Mm-hmm.
They're close enough that anyone looking at that would see that they're supposed to be us, but say what Max might have looked like 5 years ago or something like that. So just so it's not a perfect, easy recognition. But
yeah. So I will be like database. Although working at a company that's been around 20 years and has a lot of older employees, you'd be surprised at how many people don't update their badge picture. Fun fact.
Yeah, we get yelled at if we don't at my place.
There was someone I was dealing with today. 19 years at the company. Never updated their badge picture. Drives me freaking nuts. So I will The flags seems to lock out his system, and he kind of raises an eyebrow and goes, "That's unusual. I wonder what's going on." It says, "Security is coming by to take a look at my machine. It's got some odd stuff going on." What do you do?
Say, like, make a whole deal out of the whole out of it. It's like this is just perfect. You know, I got to get out of here because make up something about this guy because I got a appointment. You know, and then I get locked out, and this make a basically an aggrieved asshole employee, guy who's really upset with the IT services thing, and say, I don't have time to deal with this right now. You got the stuff in there, like have them send me a message or whatever if they need me, but you got the stuff in there. It's just some kind of weird flag thing.
All right, you start hearing the tromping of boots. Are you going to make a run for it, or what are you going to do?
I was going to leave.
Okay.
I don't think that I need to bolt, but heading out.
Act under pressure.
Sure thing. That is cool.
Cool.
All right. Still in disguise. So that is pretty good there.
I need freaking Blank to roll some dice here, because holy crap. So, as you're about to step away from his desk, you pause, reach over, grab the data stick, and then walk out the door. Which, if you'd failed or gotten the halfway, I would have said you left it there.
That makes sense.
You bolt downstairs at a brisk but not suspicious looking pace, and pretty much walk out of the facility unmolested. Do you leave the badge somewhere, or what do you do with the badge?
I am going to leave it somewhere. Basically, outside the last check, at a an employee restroom, I'm going to leave it on the sink. Also, I wanted to add, before I had left that person, said, I told him, I owe you one. I'll buy you, I'll buy you lunch next week.
He just nods, still a little confused, but he shrugs. Thanks.
All right.
I'll make sure to forward these guys to you when they actually get here.
Yeah, understood. Yeah. So then I leave the badge in the washroom, like someone had just set it down and forgot it. Oh, not on the sink, but fallen on the floor just a little bit back where it wouldn't be immediately obvious to someone at the the toilet or the urinal that they dropped it.
Cool. So yeah, you've got IDs in the system that won't pass, severe scrutiny, but if you've got people just, glancing at the IDs, they should pass muster without too much pain.
Sounds good.
You'll be able to move within most of the lower security levels of the facility.
Oh, and I want to add, when we use them, we have to announce what our alias is.
Hey, that works for me. All right. You're set up. You come back the second day, pass on the information. Blank, are you doing anything in prep for this?
I feel like I was in the car waiting for replica in case things went south. as I tend to do. So I'm just sitting there really bored. Like, just sitting there waiting. Was that an alarm? Oh, god damn it. But
Have you tried World of Warships yet?
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing World of War Spaceships because that's probably the new version
Yeah, pretty much.
in the car.
Well, I was more in terms of you still should probably try and find information about Cypher, and you don't have much information other than the fact that Zeta is on the C-Squared station about where she might be.
I guess I could probably go. Wonder if the contact that gave me this job has any info that we could use about him.
He pretty much gave what he had available to him. You have a little bit of intel to work with from Max's role, but otherwise not a lot of information other than the fact that Zeta escaped from the Alpha X station, ended up on the C-Squared station, and is holed up until she can find a way out.
Oh no, I mean my kill target. We probably need more info on him too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have any information when you reached out to him. Other than he was pretty much like, Cypher Northbridge? Who is that? Why would Shin Vex have anyone up there? I hadn't heard anything about C-Squared and Shin Vex.
Well, I mean, I can go on the prowl and see what I can learn, I suppose. Maybe just pick up some bar conversation too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I am willing to let you do. It sounds like maybe do a research.
Yeah.
The database being the talk around town, or maybe more hit the street.
Yeah, that's what I was debating. I wasn't sure if it'd be one or the other.
If you want to declare a contact, maybe you know a hunter somewhere who might have some more information.
Makes sense. I'm pretty sure I would know a hunter given my my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's see.
Tell me about this hunter while you roll up declare a contact. Oh, you don't have to declare. You can just declare contact. That's right.
Yeah.
Tell me about this hunter.
Sure. So it's somebody I met early in my contract killer career. I almost not really a mentor, but just kind of one of the guys that one of my very first contacts. So I've known him for quite a while. He's the guy I'll go to when I need to find somebody or get pointed in the right direction when I'm kind of flailing around.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Does he have a name?
I'm working on it. Wesley McCormick is his name.
I like it.
Yeah. Roll Wes.
So roll up style. Six.
Really? Really?
You call him up, and the signal is super choppy. He's like, hey, blank, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm deep on a hunt. There's not much I can tell you at the moment. What do you need? Make it quick.
Hey man, gonna go up. So I'm looking for a target actually. See if you have any information on him. We're headed up to the C-Squared station.
C-Squared. I didn't pick you as a spacefaring killer. What's the change?
Gotta go where the money is, man. The money's all in orbit.
He shrugs for a moment, and you get a dossier. It's very short. As you pass on the information about Cypher, and it's just the bare bones information, with a link to what was his name? Your favorite pal that you robbed.
God. Deadeyes?
Mr. Takahashi.
Oh. What was his name?
Where's my Trello board? I have too many people here. Wrong board. My notes. Nope, wrong board again.
Where is...
Joe Takahashi, that's it.
There we go.
Supposedly, Joe is having a business meeting on the station with C2, about potentially building a new Shinvex orbital monitoring station up there, for projecting of media down to Earth, as well as keeping an eye on, basically spying on everyone.
I kind of want to rob him again.
So he's in their more posh, fancy. This is where C2 takes all their executive guests because they want them to make them feel safe and secure and happy and wanting to make deals.
So if we just, deorbit that section of the station...
You just got to make sure he's in there before you deorbit it.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, we'll just have to deorbit a different section.
Until that fancy, that brand new section lands on your bar.
Well, in that case, then he has dropped a satellite on Alpha X.
Oh, no,
which
no,
I
no.
think-
No. The whole satellite burns up except one part that just happens to land perfectly smashed through the bar.
It's a toilet
What are
seat.
the odds of that?
Probably about as good as winning the lottery.
But better. Okay.
He shrugs. I don't have any other information than that. I gotta go, and clicks off. Seems a little bit odd. He's normally more talkative and friendly to you. That he's a little bit quiet and reserved. You wonder what's going on, but there isn't any information that you can glean from the short conversation unless you start hunting him down. And he's a hunter that typically doesn't want to be found.
Yeah, I've tried that in my youth. It doesn't play out well. Well, I'm sure that was nothing. So
Ignore the clocks
Ignore.
that I'm moving forward.
we'll just ignore that and move
See?
along.
I just gotta get blank rolling dice because you never fail for me, man. You never fail.
When they're rolling
Everyone
hot, I'm
else is
like
rolling
shit.
14s.
And then
You roll me a 6. Excellent. All right. So you've got where the operative is. You've got a hack to clear your doctor friend's issue. You've got a way to move about the station relatively unmolested. And all you got left, you got a couple days left to figure out where Zeta is.
Can we not just get up there and like put up posters with her face?
Yeah, that's a good plan. I like that.
Yeah, let's just put it to all of squared that an Alpha X previous employee is hiding on their station somewhere, and
We'll get
put them all in high alert.
We'll get Siren to put a. Have you seen this person on all the milk cartons they have on the place?
Yeah, I'll wait here for you guys. You guys go ahead. Before you leave, Trip, could you sign this piece of paper that says I can own the bar if you die? Other than that,
I'm leaving the bar to the Car Panther.
You know the Car Panther can't legally sign documents because he doesn't have thumbs, right?
The Car Panther needs a legal guardian to handle that.
Exactly.
So you need to appoint someone to that position and then inherit the Car Panther.
Max, you can be the executor of the will, but the bar is being left to the Bar Panther.
The Bar Panther. Great. I'm just imagining there's most those cheesy restaurants that have trains running along the top edge. He's got like this plexiglass cat tube with a bar panther can patrol around and look at people around the bar.
So I like that, except I don't think there should be the plexiglass around it.
So it's just like a rail that he can just kind of sit up there and then pounce on a customer if he wants.
Yeah.
And you find one of the added settings on the Car Panther is it has sleeping gas emitters built into it. So you come back one time after you've left, and you're like, "Oh, the Car Panther will be fine on her own." You come back, and everyone in the bar is asleep.
As long as they paid the tab.
He'll be the meowser.
Oh man!
Oh, where's my rim shot sound when I need it?
Oh, yeah, it hurts. It hurts so bad. All right,
Yeah,
so you're welcome to try and figure it out when you get up there. You also know that it being a Genetics outfit up there as well, that Shane might be able, or Trip might be able to find said interface device. He's looking forward to actually, make the Car Panther work in his favor rather than maul his face every time he gets near it.
There are so many things up here for us.
Yep.
Why won't you let me love you?
I'm sorry, was that the audio track of my first marriage? What did I just hear?
All right. So you got a couple days left. If you want to do any other prep work, you're more than welcome to. Maybe hunt down a EVA suit, or I don't know. I'll let you guys roll. Otherwise, we can fast forward to launch day.
So here's my dilemma. We should probably do a couple more things to get ready, but if Blank rolls anymore, we're going to be up a creek on legwork.
Yeah. I was trying to avoid touching the dice, and I got peer pressured into it.
Hey, I'm happy to peer pressure you any day. Any day.
So what would we be doing to find an EVA suit or equivalent?
Well, y'all live on Alpha X Island, or at least unless you're sleeping in the bar somewhere, you live on Alpha X Island, or you still live in your said apartments. I'm sure Blank's cargo container that he lives in can be shipped over here and hidden somewhere.
It's behind the bar now.
I am locked into my lease, so I can't get out of it.
You're welcome to kind of explore. There's bound to be a couple of space paraphernalia stores on this island to be able to get EVA suits and whatnot, and maybe fast talk your way through it. Or you're welcome to find yourself a fixer who can score you some gear, or talk to said fixer you already know, who can name a contact since he hasn't done that yet.
It's true.
I would like to, during the nights at the bar, kind of as the bartender, engage in conversation and see if I can't find someone who might know where our missing person is. See if I can't find someone who maybe has heard about her, or because I'm assuming that some Alpha X employees would show up at this bar since it is space themed.
And it is on their island.
Yeah. While he's doing that, I definitely want to find one of my contacts, and I've got an idea for it, and I'll roll for it to help us find some space survival gear more than just, and whatever emergency plastic jumper suit that they throw in a cargo bin. Just like emergency breathers and stuff, small stuff we can take with us, and maybe at least one EV suit so that Blank Stare can attach the antenna without dying. Not that he'll explode. It's been shown that humans don't explode when exposed to the vacuum of space. I mean, yes, your eyes will eventually boil out of your face, but
being
really
exposed to vacuum is actually relatively boring.
Yeah, our bodies are designed to hold all our organs inside, so there's pressure and stuff. But
I don't know what you're talking about. This being proved, no one's died in space. It's a fact. You can trust Alpha X and C Squared about this. No one has died in space. There's been no accidents or other things like that would have produced this information for us.
I was talking about the monkeys they tested on, but whatever.
Well, there's no guarantee that animal testing translates to humans.
You see an ad project on the ceiling. Alpha X, we're the safe space travel company.
Anyway, so that's what I will roll for that once. I'll let Shane do his first because he called his first.
And I could see Trip going, God damn it, I thought I turned that off.
No, it's club night. I had to turn it back on because it's club night tonight. They'll be in like 30 minutes.
Trip,
and you're muted.
There you go.
Fine. We can have it up for club night.
Hey, those guys drink. I mean, they're like fishes.
They do drink. They cover most of Blank Stare's drinking too. So
that's because you look at the weird box he leaves on the bar. That's his gun in compact mode, and they're all like, "Let's just give him drinks so he doesn't get angry."
Yeah. What Trip doesn't know is how much they're actually covering Max's drinking too, because he has yet to pay for a drink.
There's a whole shell game going on right now with drinks.
Hey, bar's making money. That's all that's important.
Am I rolling style or fast talk?
You are doing well. They're both style, so conveniently. I'll do it as a fast talk.
Do I get a forward because I'm in my own bar as the bartender?
Did you get bonuses from that when you built the bar? Neighbors aren't suspicious. Nah. If you do an upgrade to the bar, I will say you can get bonuses when it's your bar at the moment.
Okay, that seems fair.
8.
Got there.
All right, so you kind of schmooze up some Alpha X employees. You've been working them for the better part of a day. Well, probably 2 days in terms of, plying them with drinks and whatnot. And they mention, there was this one employee. She seemed to sneak off in one of the automated transfer pods between between 01 and the ziggurat, as it were, and now all of upper management's up in a tizzy about it. But from what we can tell, I don't think the pod made it. It disappeared off radar when it got to the ziggurat, and then we saw debris about maybe 20 minutes later, so don't know if she made it. She probably it looked like it was going to hit one of the outer cubes. I think it was right near their asteroid deconstruction setup, so who knows?
I mean, even if she did make it, how would she hide on the ziggurat? Like, seems pretty
It's a big station, and they got a lot of construction going on, so they got crews moving about all the time. Who knows? Maybe she snuck in and made herself look like one of the crew. I'm sure they're probably not looking too hard at the people who are tearing down the facility on that side, so who knows? That's basically all you get out of them. It's not much, but you're fairly certain that she's probably still in the asteroid zone, because pretty much that whole cube section was locked off from the rest of the station, so you can basically go in, but once you're in, you have to go back out through one of their little pods that transfers around.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not reported any pods going missing, so at the moment, it is pretty clear. So you've got your information about Zeta. Let's see here. But the Alpha X employees you were kind of schmoozing kind of give you a weird look and go, wait, how did you hear about that? I was only just hearing about that this afternoon, and that was from a top secret, high up meeting. Where did you hear anything about it?
The bar with a lot of drunk space employees.
They kind of give you a weird look, kind of side-eyed, because they're like, that's a little out of place, but whatever. One of them kind of looks down at his pad, typing a text. But nothing else comes of it. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong clock. Nothing at all comes of it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not making a move. Nothing. Perfectly innocent. Everything's good. You're all fine. No problems. They kind of leave still a little confused, happy to have had probably 3 or 4 free beers. A little bit on the tipsy side, but not all that worse for wear otherwise. Sounds like you got a plan there. Max. I muted Max. I can do that
Sorry.
too.
I was muted while he was talking, and then I was looking up. So, does at this time and time frame in Sprawl, do we have sentient AI robot people, critters?
Yes,
running
that
around?
is
Okay.
all about doop. Where's my fancy?
I thought we did.
Board. Yes. AI are considered second-class citizens. I had the whole conversation with you guys about what your guys' opinions on them and their attempts to change that. They have a ghetto, basically, kind of in the outer sprawl of the Tokyo megaplex. That's just like if you've ever seen the what is it called? That used to be in Hong Kong. That was the cube of buildings that were all built up together.
Just the walled city, or
Yeah, Kowloon Walled City.
yeah,
It's like that, only multiply it by a factor of 10 in size. And it's just a warren of halls and buildings that the AI basically have hidden in to get away from some of the oppression going on. But there are other AI elements, and you have actually worked with some in your first mission.
Yeah, we have a contact in the Shaper.
Yep.
because we delivered a bunch of rescued AIs to him.
Hey, firm.
That's right.
So what
All the
Go ahead.
AIs we found.
Yeah, all.
Yes, definitely not any missing that Trip knows nothing about.
And it's not like he's been trying to figure out how to hook it into the bar to help run things or anything either.
I think he sold both of them for one of his,
Oh, that's right. You did sell them both, didn't you?
or at least for a discount on what he was working on.
So what I'm imagining for my contact is basically it's like almost like a space scrap dealer.
Mm.
Basically, it's a junkyard of VTOL and extra VTOL aircraft, hover cars, but also covers space vehicles. What do you call the ships that go up and then come right back? Come down the
Boosters?
No, the ones that instead of going this way around the planet, they shoot up and then come down for travel. They're still prototypes right now, but
I know what you're talking about, but I don't have a name for them.
parabolic, something arc,
Parabolic.
parabolic arc.
Yeah.
It's faster travel to go up out of the atmosphere, then come back in, and then to go around. Anyway, so I'm imagining there's a scrapyard of just parts, pieces, includes stuff left in ships when they're scrapped. Ship runs to the end of its life cycle. It's sold off for scrap and parts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining this scrapyard of parts, like kind of like if you were roaming through Kentucky and found a junkyard, found a large 10-acre scrapyard of cars and vehicles going back, probably to the dawn of the car. Very similar. There's this junkyard. It's probably at the edge of the city, near the reclamation and waste, where nobody. It's not. You have to be going there. You don't accidentally drive by it.
It actually wouldn't surprise me if you're looking for kind of space crap. It's at the base of the cylinder of the island, where basically the poor and, for lack of a better term, trash live on the island.
Right, and people bring, it's very much like Unkar plot. People bring him parts and pieces, and he, not proportions, but he buys, he buys these things that he can resell either through through online or through people showing up. So, this is a contact I have. It's one unusual factor is that this whole service is run by a robot, basically, who's not ashamed of his robot status. And I'll actually upload a picture here.
Wait. Did I hear that right? His?
Well, he calls himself him just because it's easier than saying it.
Well, I meant in terms of, I thought Max only had female contacts.
Well, this is the exception because he's not actually male or female.
Ah.
Then you want they.
Yeah. So they.
Yes.
They, but identifies as he. Like
Right.
Danger Boat.
Yeah.
There you go.
For anyone who's been watching The Tick.
Like Danger Boat, yeah.
The season ended spectacularly, by the way.
It really did.
I haven't gotten to see it yet.
So there you
awesome.
go. So there's a picture of kind of what I'm imagining, maybe without the hat, but that's kind of what I'm imagining is just this,
Yeah, looks about. I can see that.
So, it's like, hey, we need to get some extra space, survival gear. I'll be like, we're on the island. Oh, I think I know somebody.
What's his name?
I don't have a name for him yet. So
Okay.
anybody that wants to chime in on it looks at the picture and a name pops into his head, I'm happy to take. It could be I'm actually thinking the name is probably it's not like Steve or something. It's probably non-gender specific, like Pat. Sorry, that was
it's like with the Shaper, I just picked like really weird, like I'm almost going with AI tend to make, other than one specific AI, tend to make names that are like objects more than they are people names, but
Yeah,
Um,
there's not
go
a
ahead.
culture to draw on, so they just choose a name that felt appropriate to him. This guy looks like a gunslinger, so gunslinger is a possibility.
Yeah,
or just Slinger.
yeah. Slinger, I like Slinger. Yeah, Slinger probably works. It's probably
Sweet. So
yeah. If you ask him his name, he'll give you this long designation, and then when he looks confused, it just says, "People call me Slinger."
I am known as Slinger,
Yeah,
or here, meatbags call me Slinger.
yeah, yeah. And then I'm kind of thinking that, yeah, yeah, exactly. Not quite the HK50 or whatever attitude, but really close to that at this point because he knows that people coming to him, he's got something they want, and most people don't really mess with him because
Yeah, he probably treats Slinger as with a little bit of a disdain, but knows it as a necessary evil of working with humans.
right,
So he doesn't identify as Slinger. People call him that.
right, right. Whereas I will say that my character probably calls him by the first part of his designation. I will say it's like WR3N, and I'll call him Ren for short. But he has a much longer designation, but so
Cool. Are you going to use your move, or are you going to just
yes.
declare contact? Sweet.
Well, I'll declare contact. He's my contact.
Yeah, but I meant in terms of you have the move to declare contact that gives you special bonuses, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's do you have that handy?
I know people.
Right.
Roll style. Seven, 8, 9. So with I know people at 7 and 9, you've never met them before. They're an unknown quantity. So maybe Slinger is a secondary contact of Ren. So
Or
you know the AI Ren, and he goes, "Yeah, I know a guy who can help you out."
or maybe Janice, or one of my other contacts says, "Oh yeah, I know somebody." He goes, most people call him Slinger, but maybe even Siren pointed us that way.
All right. Tell me how you reach out to him, or do you just go down to the lower levels?
I just go down to face. They're doing stuff in the bar and trying to make contact. So I've got a list of the things that I'm looking to try to find. They don't have to be brand new. So I reach out. I probably would have reached out to Siren. She's like, yeah, there's a guy. Most people call him Slinger. I know him as Ren, which makes no sense to me until I probably get there.
Yeah. Are you taking him with you?
Does anybody want to go with me to pick up supplies? I think the only one that's actually tied up right now would be Shane.
Blank has a spacesuit that he needs to actually fit.
Yeah.
And they tend to make spacesuits, not one size fit all.
Okay,
I'll
so
go.
definitely
Blank. Hear my rolls.
Okay, so Blank and I'll go. Dun dun dun.
Sweet. You take the kind of side column elevator, and I'm getting what's the word I'm looking for? Lyrics. You get the side column elevator that's just down the hallway from the. I'm already blanking on your bar's name. Specific Impulse. That's it. Your brain works eventually. It takes a few minutes, And you realize it's getting darker and darker and darker as you get to the point to which you're in an area that does not see sun unless it's noon. And it only sees sun at noon. You finally roll down, step out, and this is the dank, kind of trash-covered streets, kind of... Everyone looks either like an addict or is just in dirty rags. Pretty much the poorest of the poor live down here. You make your way through, probably gingerly stepping over a lot of people lying around, to what's basically a walled off, you know... It sticks out from the wall by about 100 meters, but you can tell that it's dug in probably another half a kilometer into the bedrock, basically, of what looks like a hangar. A massive, massive hangar. And it just says Slingers above the door.
Okay. I guess we go in. If there's an open sign, then I'll just go in. If there's no open sign, I will knock.
Under Slingers, it says always open.
I'll go in.
He's an AI. He doesn't need to sleep. When he needs to charge, he just has an extension cable that he plugs into him and walks around still with the extension cable trailing behind him.
So yeah, I'll go in and look around.
So, Slinger looks pretty much as the picture you presented, kind of ratty looking. Looks like he's had a lot of things replaced with not the most amazing gear, whatever he's basically found down here. You kitty.
Yeah, she's decided to lay on she wants to lay on the keyboard, but I have a board over it. But she started laying up against the LCD screen, and so I'm like, I can't see anything. It's like I'm having to do this to look over to see what I rolled.
So Slinger kind of tilts his head as he looks at you and goes, "Is there something I can do for you, human?" By the way, you should probably roll your hit the streets.
That's why I hit the streets. Oh, hey, look, hit the streets. Any kind of bonus for being sent?
Since you rolled a 9, you didn't dip into the 10. I would have probably given you a bonus if you'd hit the 10, but outside that 10, no. 9.
7, 8, 9 again.
Where's my moves here? Hit the streets. You're welcome to choose the 2 from the list, but we'll just go into the interaction first and foremost, and then once we determine precisely what you're going for, we can go from there.
Okay.
He tilts his head at you, looking. Can I help you?
Looking for Ren.
He cocks his head a little bit more. Most people refer to me by the given name of Slinger. Technically, also, Ren is not my name, but there are some who understand the semantics of a AI designation code and have used the strange human tendency of seeing words within letters and numbers and call me Ren.
I have a friend named Siren who recommended you.
I am aware of Siren. She is a good customer.
Well, I'm hoping I can be a good customer as well.
If you have the money to pay, of course.
I do. First and foremost, we need a pointed blank stare. I just kind of look over and I'm like, would you stop staring? Oh, never mind. he needs a spacesuit that will allow him to, well, walk in space without dying.
For how long?
Less than an hour.
I think I have something. He walks over, kind of moves to like this one quadrant of the big ass hangar, pushes aside a cart, and you see what looks like a walk-in closet filled with spacesuits. And he kind of fingers through it and stops on one, looks back at Blank. You can see like his eyes sort of adjust as they analyze him. Looks back at the one he selected, picks it out, and goes, "This one should fit. It's got a helmet. It's got the most basic breathing setup on the back. It looks super sleek otherwise, albeit with probably several years worth of use on it." And he walks it over, holds it up next to Blank, looks at Blank, looks at it, looks at Blank, looks at it, shrugs. This should be about right.
Should I try it on?
Probably not the most comfortable when you're not in 0G, but you are more than welcome to. I do not have what do you humans call changing rooms? But
Oh, that's fine. I'm already naked. I'm already stripping out of my not naked, but I'm already stripping down.
Yeah, he's half undressed before he gets the sentence out.
he kind of turns, hands it to Max, and is like, "Here you go."
Yeah, he's not bashful. I'm also looking for some small portable emergency oxygen in case of depressurization. Oxygen breathers.
He shrugs and goes, "Most stations are fitted with those, but I am sure I can find some gently used versions."
Yeah, these are for the trip up, I should say. We're traveling sub coach, I should say.
He gives what can only be described as a shrug. His body's not really designed to shrug. And moves to another section. There's just crates. He kind of opens up a few until he finds the emergency equipment you're asking for. They're all in basically used Pelican cases. He looks back. "Is it just for you two?" He nods, pulls 4 Pelican cases out, presses a button, and they all seem to latch together into it, and shifts them up, and it looks like just a rolling cart that a little handle comes out of.
And how are you for goggles? In case of depressurization, like to be able to see without my eyes being frozen.
So it's not specifically necessary because you know the suits that what's his face is providing you. Oh my god, what's his name? Oh, it's on the tab. The ones that Felix are providing you come with the most basic helmet. If you've seen the SpaceX fancy pressure chute that sent off into space in a car, it's that.
Okay.
Only
I was just thinking it's a backup.
less fancy looking. He shrugs, kind of points at a wall of helmets and goggles and eye protection and welding masks and pretty much any trash you would see. You see a couple of what look like backup helmets. You see a couple of like the face mask style breather, like you'd probably seen on like Expanse. Several other things. Any pretty much any facial thing you're looking for, you could probably find there.
Okay, I'm just looking for a couple. Just like I said, not that I don't discount what he's sending, but I'd rather not need it and have it, and then need it and not have it.
Yep.
I'm not getting one for everybody. The air I'll get for everybody. We're getting one spacesuit, and then we'll get 2 masks, just because if we have more than 2 catastrophic mass failures, we're fucked anyway.
He takes the cart of emergency supplies, takes whatever masks you hand him, puts them in a bigger case, waits for Blank to finish dressing, and goes, anything else? And you're welcome to pick your 2 hit the street consequences.
Oh, I don't have the list any. Can you pop them off?
Cost extra, take time to put together, attract unwanted attention, contact needs help.
Oh, sure. Let's do contact needs help. And how does takes time to put together work?
Takes time to put together. You run the risk of it not like one of the cases is missing equipment and he can still grab it, but it will take time to put together and could potentially miss the launch window.
I'll go with cost extra.
Okay.
Cost extra and contact needs help. I pick 2 out of 9.
Yes.
Okay.
7 to 9 is choose 2, 10 is get everything and extra, and 7 plus is get what you want. Plus the consequences. He loads everything into the case to carry it all, other than the suit, waiting for Blank to finish testing it out. And, well, he walks over to Blank and goes, is it to your specifications? You find it's a little snug in places, a little loose in others, but more or less fits.
Yeah, it works. Looks good.
He nods, walks away, comes back and goes, based on your schematics, it looks like you are a member of the, let's say, killing variety. Am I mistaken?
No, that's accurate.
He nods slowly. Maybe I have some use of you. Looks back at Max. Is he yours?
Look at Blank. So, Blank, are you mine?
Well, I mean, he's bought me dinner a couple times, I guess, but
Not ready for commitment though.
Yeah, let's say it's a partnership. Let's call it a partnership.
Then I will send you details. This would normally cost you 4 cred. If you help me, I will bring it down to 3 cred. The suit is very expensive.
that sounds fair.
Okay. Seems fair.
He nods. I will pass the information on to you based on your selection of equipment. You might be able to get to this entity without too much difficulty.
Sure. Where's the entity at?
He nods. I will send you the details.
Okay, no problem. So
he looks at the equipment and goes, "Is that all?"
Look at Will. Am I missing anything?
No, I think we're good.
I mean, do we need any? Yeah.
I
think we're
would say that you need equipment to shoot in space, but Firefly got that one wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say my weapon should probably work okay.
We actually should get like frangible ammo or something else that is less likely to have structural integrity issues.
Less
Punch a
likely to
hole in the
put
wall.
holes in a space station. I mean, I know Trip wants holes in the space station, but he probably doesn't want them in the place he's actually
That's a
occupying.
good point. You may want
Unless he would like to be sucked out of that hole. You know. Oh, by the way, that's for those of you who've never seen Sabbat rounds from a tank. Sabbat rounds shot through a tank will take the contents inside the tank and pull it out through a hole that's about 1.5 inches wide. That includes the occupants.
Minor detail.
That seems less good for Trip. So they don't have to worry about what the carving in there.
I would expect that space travel is probably common enough that they would have special munitions for specifically used in a vacuum, and for that very purpose of it flies at it works in a very limited range, so it doesn't just go on forever and randomly hit somebody on Mars or puncture holes in a space station.
Well, those are most likely to deorbit and burn up in the atmosphere. But
Jimmy's comment or Replica's comment about Replica's comment about flangeable. Basically, it breaks up when it hits something solid, so that it doesn't punch through. It's probably
they basically use plastic rounds in space, for lack of a better term. They'll do plenty of damage to a human. They won't do any damage to the space station. Cool. Or at least the rounds that they make. Slinger actually looks at Blank and goes, "You might need these." He pushes a box across the counter, and you open it up, and it's high velocity plastic rounds. And they look like they're designed for your gun, and your gun's not even here. He kind of looked at you, and when he scanned you, he saw, the kind of marks on your hands and how you tend to hold yourself, and he's like, I think these rounds will work for you.
I like this guy.
I just look at the box and like, you're my new favorite person or entity.
Mine too. Do you like turpentine? Because I'm working on a new batch.
I do not think turpentine is good for my system, but I will take it under advisement. Maybe if I need to clean the walls of this place. They need to be cleaned relatively regularly. The people down here are dirty.
Get all goofed up on turpentine.
Oh, I bet I have a customer base down here, speaking of which.
So you actually see the label on his chest, which is his full designation, and it's like WR3NXY0877. It's just like a 35. It's like a really secure password, is what it is.
Right. And I'm just like, oh, I see where Siren got ran. Okay.
He nods and goes, "If that is all, I will leave you to take your equipment and be on your way."
Sounds good.
I think that's sufficient.
Be listening. Hope to hear from you soon with the info.
He nods, and your next section gonna get details of that information.
That's fine.
You get back up just fine. There's not any issues. Surprisingly, no one's hunting you this time around. Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was gonna say, I think that we've largely done the legwork and stuff, all the stuff we can do planet side.
Yep.
So, barring objections,
surprisingly gotten through legwork without maxing out the clock. So bonus points there. Yeah, I will say we'll fast forward to launch day. You've got all of your credentials set up, but what we will do is fade to black for this evening because I know Trip has to leave in about 10 minutes, so we can close up shop without too much difficulty here.
But we also have, at some point the rest of us will get flangeable rounds so that we're not shooting through the hull.
You're pretty certain you can pick that up without too much difficulty with how prevalent the space station travel is around here, the security outfits all pretty much deal in plastic rounds so that they can send people up without too much difficulty.
Yeah.
You got Blank got enough that he could load out his rifle for a couple of configurations, and he's good to go. The rest of you would probably have to also procure some, but it wouldn't be too difficult. You're fairly certain. You actually go back to Felix, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, huh? You probably need that, don't you?" Passes some over to you. They're all
Nice.
like basic level rounds, like the ones you would get on the most basic pistol rounds. So you may not be going up with your, high caliber awesomeness, but you have enough to defend yourself, basically.
Here's the cardboard box of 50 just in queue. It's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Right off the shelf.
Well, you know what? That matches the cardboard box for my regular rounds because I don't have anything cool like that.
And yeah, looks like you're about to go to space, guys. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to seeing where we can take it from there, but it should be fun. I have a couple of things that might come to fruition out of this, and I've now linked you to deal with your favorite nemesis, your other favorite nemesis, since Blank has several nemesi, one of which really likes to trade arms.
Wait, do we mean left and right arms or weapons?
Left and right arms. Blank takes them from him. He takes them from Blank. Now he's probably going to take them back from Deadeye. Wait, yeah.
God, what's better than what he's got right now?
Um,
I'm imagining Blank Stare's arm looks a bit like not Gamora, but what's her name? Yeah, Gamora's arm. No,
Sister. What is her name?
on the tip of my tongue, and I don't remember what it is.
Nebula.
Nebula's arm at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's got just like three little prongs.
Oh no, he's probably got his normal hands, but you lift up and you can kind of see through the arms.
No, it's been growing back thanks to my turpentine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Holds up his hand, and like the last two fingers are constantly doing this.
Yeah, he's got fidgets and whatnot that don't affect his firing, but
no, I'm perfectly
there's like a
stable
little
with
mini
fire.
drink umbrella that's been soldered on, like a little metal one.
Huh.
all right, so
odd.
we'll wrap on the stream so Trip can get out of here. I'm Steel Seraph, pretty much everywhere under the sun. Follow on here, like, subscribe. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Well, I'm still working on emotes, so feel free to make suggestions. I'm always on the hunt for that. We'll be theoretically playing either next week or the week after. I will work it out with these guys later this evening or tomorrow. Had a lot of fun, and looking forward to the next one. Blank, close it out.
Sure. I am Blanks821 on Twitter, but mostly you'll just find me here on the odd Wednesday when we get together. Hopefully that'll be a little more stable coming up soon. But yeah, that's about all I've got, I think.
See? Max?
BidWizard, BIDD Wizard, everywhere. Twitter, here, pretty much any place that is social. You can find me, usually following Steel Seraph here, or playing with Steel Seraph. So, other than that, yeah, looking forward to the next game.
Trip?
You can find Trip at Earth's Trip West. He'll be tweeting about Car Panthers, bars, and space.
And lastly, Replica.
I don't maintain an online presence. And normally I would pitch something, but I'm really drawing a blank on stuff. I'm gonna go to AwesomeCon at the beginning of April in DC. So
What's the con that's this weekend?
GadCon.
Nice.
So that's
Awesome.
in Aberdeen.
Well, I will see everyone next week. Either we'll be playing on Sprawl, or I'll be playing Minecraft, or I'll be playing Wildlands, like I was playing last week. Thanks again, and have a good night.
All right.
And